I think that you want to do it so well because you love your little people so much, and it's like heartbreaking to me to realize that they're not going to get out of childhood unscathed, even with my best attempts at it. And like, so I think Ben and I always come back to the fact like we are going to wound them, but we want them to know that we will repair it and we'll make it right, and that we are like open doors, like they can come to us and tell us anything, you know? And sometimes, the kids will like level these like disappointments at me. And my first, like, their big disappointment, right? Like, you didn't read 2 chapters of Harry Potter, you read one. Sometimes my first, and I'm sure as they get to teenagers like yours, Jen, like the frustrations and the disappointments are deeper and even more challenging to work through. But like even something as small as that, my initial response can sometimes be like defensiveness because I am trying so hard, because I am giving it everything I've got. And I try really hard to like, even if I immediately am going to be like, excuse me, I try to take a breath and be like, like, okay, I hear you're disappointed or whatever. Like, let's talk this through. But I think that's kind of what I try to shoot for is like, I'm not going to do it perfectly, but I want them to know that I love Jesus. I gave it the best I had, and you can come talk to me and I'll make it right. I know it breaks my heart for like how many people I know who don't have parents, like good people in their life, good parents, because I like feel like no matter what, I know that I can call my parents and get help, and how I've taken them up on that many times.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember like, do you remember this, Mom? Me and Ben were living with Mom and Dad for like a season when we were looking to buy a house, and the housing market was tough. And I was finding out from my infertility doctor that I wasn't gonna be able to most likely get pregnant in Alaska, and she was like, "Oh, you need to go get IVF." And I remember hanging up with her or on the phone. You might have even been in the room. I was crying on the phone with her, and I was like, "Do you remember her name was Sandy?" She was like an amazing woman, and she was like, I was like, "Sandy, I can't afford it." And she was like, "Well, just think it over." Like, and I hung up the phone, and Mom said, "I'll give you money." Do you remember that, Mom? And it's just like my heart breaks for people who don't have that, and it makes me wanna be that in more ways than just to my kids, like to be that for other people because I feel like I got so blessed with good parents. We take that, I think, for granted too, like because when you have good parents, you can easily nitpick the things you don't like, you know? But I think we forget, like, just the the level of, like, love we have sometimes. So thanks, Mom.
Your support means so much. Like, comment, share, and subscribe so we can keep growing this community together.